What's going on, dudes? And dude, so apparently the Seattle Seahawks are going to be signing ex-USC quarterback Sam Darnold to a 3-year, nearly $100 million deal. So, yeah, that's pretty big time, especially for a guy like him who has struggled throughout most of his career, being like a top 5 pick. And yes, he had a pretty successful season last year with the Vikings, but I was actually going to report on a story that came out last week that they were working on a deal to extend him there, but it looks like he ended up going elsewhere, which benefited him because he's getting quite a bit of money. It does suck because they just traded away their best receiver and they let go of their other receiver right before free agency. So now he kind of just has like one. They have a good running game, but we'll see who they end up getting for him to become his new pass catchers there in Seattle. So good luck to Sam Darnold out there. And then USC football, they get a commitment from a 3-star local interior offensive lineman in California in the 2026 class named John Fifita. And yeah, he's a big time guy. He's like over 6'6", 300 plus pounds. And yeah, he looks very talented, even though he does have that 3-star ranking. I think if a lot of people saw him a bit more, a lot of those recruiting areas, they would bump him up to a 4-star. So hopefully that does end up happening throughout his senior season. But yes, I'm definitely very happy and excited that they got one of these guys. And apparently one of the top players, the 5-star athlete in Brandon Arrington, put out a top 6 schools, or his final 6 schools, and USC made the cut along with like 3 other SEC schools and Big Ten schools. Big Ten are important because it's like you're going to be competing with them anyway. So if you lose him, you hope he goes to the other conference and not to another team in your same conference. But at least they are the only local team, at least close here in the West Coast, other than Oregon, of course, too. So hopefully he does pick USC. You never know, but definitely looking to see how that commitment ends up turning up. And then I believe another ex-USC player, before that, On3 did bump up USC to the #1 spot in the overall team rankings after that John Fifita commitment, because I believe there was a decommitment from a defensive lineman who was a 4-star for Oregon named Bots Mulitalo. And I guess he committed there as a defensive lineman, but he actually wants to play on the offensive side on that line. And I don't know if Oregon wasn't wanting him at that spot, so he decommitted. And it looks like a lot of arrows are pointing to USC because I think he's going to be visiting soon as well. And he had a really nice visit the other time too that he's been there unofficially. So hopefully USC can close this one out and get another very talented Polynesian offensive lineman on their roster. And then, yes, the next USC safety, Talanoa Hofunga, agreed to a 3-year deal worth up to $45 million deals with the $45 million deal with the Denver Broncos. Yes, I'm very happy for him, ex-USC guy, but sadly he is going to a Chargers rival in their same division, so I will be seeing him twice a year. Now, it was great seeing him with the 49ers and stuff, and obviously, once again, another player that I wanted on USC's roster. On the Chargers roster. I didn't even know he was going into free agency this year. I thought he had re-signed like some sort of deal with the 49ers, but I guess not, and looks like he took the money somewhere else, and it's a good move for him because he's definitely going to need it because he gets injured quite a bit, but hopefully he has some successful games except for against my LA Chargers. A couple of ex-USC basketball players did some big stuff last month in the NBA. Looks like Evan Mobley was named the Defensive Player of the Month on the Eastern side, and then on the Western side, the Rookie of the Month went to Isaiah Collier, the guard out of USC. So yeah, congrats to both those guys. They've been playing very well. I think Mobley just got hurt, so he hasn't been playing, but Collier has been one of those top rookies. So hopefully he has some consideration for an all-rookie team. And then, yes, the women's basketball team, they were playing very well towards the end of the season and had a nice bid. They were like, the top seed in the Big Ten tournament, and they had their first game against Indiana the other day, and they beat them 84-79, a close game, but they still got that victory. I believe after that game, Juju Watkins moved up to number 9 on USC's all-time scoring list, and she's only a sophomore, which is pretty insane. In that very next game, they had another tough close match against a top team in Michigan, but got that victory 82-70, I believe, at some point. During these games, Juju Watkins ended up having 21 total career 30-point games, which is the second most in program history, just right behind Cheryl Miller at 25. So I'm pretty sure she's going to beat that. And she also has the most 20-point games in her first Division I seasons since 99 and 2000, just right behind, 2 games right behind Kelsey Mitchell and 3 games above Caitlin Clark, the ex-college superstar. And yes, those women of Troy did have another date with the UCLA Bruins in the final of the Big Ten tournament, and sadly, they did end up losing that game. And I don't know, they had a double-digit lead heading into the fourth or sometime during the third, and then they just couldn't hit shots. They had some nice open shots, and they weren't falling, and UCLA made the run. It was a game of runs, and UCLA had the last run, and USC didn't even score a field goal until like the last couple minutes in the fourth quarter. Every point was like on the free throw line in that quarter, but they weren't getting to the free throw line a lot either. So yeah, sadly they lost that, but they're still going to be a number 1 seed. They're just not going to be the number 1 overall seed, so it won't be as easy of a path technically. But once you get past the first couple weekends, then everybody's good. So hopefully they have some good matchups coming up for them in the March Madness tournament. And I believe she made a list also, Juju Watkins, as like scoring the most. Did I already mention that? No, she's her total point number through those 3 games were 1,684. So yeah, that's her number on that list. And then USC did, the women's side did set up a future date with the University of South Carolina at home, or actually at the Crypto Arena, so where the Lakers play on November 15th, 2025, and then next year they will go on the same date to South Carolina to play one of those top teams that have been really great in the past couple of seasons in college, especially the last couple winners too in the NCAA on the women's side. So hopefully they'll find out who the real USC is, because both schools use the same acronym, University of Southern California, University of South Carolina. So we'll see who the real USC is finally. And then Jazzy Davidson, the incoming freshman, was named to the Naismith first team all selection, so that was great for her. And then wide receiver Mekhi Lemon signed with House of Victory once again, so congrats to him. And then the men's team on senior night had a victory 92-61 against Washington. St. Thomas scored his 1,000 career points. Sadly, they lost badly against UCLA, but they do have a date with Rutgers in the Big Ten tournament for the men's side. So we'll see how they do, but either way, I think they have to win the whole entire tournament in order to get into the March Madness tournament. So that's going to be tough, especially starting with Rutgers, but we will see. The USC women's volleyball team did release their schedule. They have some tough home and away games, especially they're just the Big Ten opponents. Only a couple teams they played twice, which is obviously the teams that they came from, the Pac-12, but we'll see how they do this season. And the Anaheim Ducks had a couple of nice victories recently. They beat the Oilers 6-2, beat the New York Islanders 4-1, and they made a trade. They acquired a defensive man, Oliver Killington, from the Islanders in exchange for future considerations, and they acquired right winger Herman Traff and a 2025 second-round pick from New Jersey for Brandon Dumoulin. So yeah, made some big trades here, got some stuff back, so we'll see how they do, but we'll see what they end up doing the rest of the season. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Fight on.